Storm clouds gather, the path to global war. The world was a tinderbox in the 1930s, a decade marked by economic turmoil and political instability. Germany, still smarting from its defeat in World War I, chafed under the harsh terms of the Treaty of Versailles, which many Germans felt was deeply unjust. The Great Depression fueled resentment and instability across the globe, leading to widespread poverty and unemployment. Aggressive ideologies like Nazism and Japanese imperialism took root, preaching expansion and conquest as solutions to national woes. In Germany, Adolf Hitler and his Nazi party rose to power, promising to restore German glory and overturn the perceived injustices of the Versailles Treaty. Hitler's expansionist ambitions, beginning with the annexation of Austria and Czechoslovakia, set Europe on edge and alarmed neighboring countries. Meanwhile, in Asia, Imperial Japan, driven by militarism and a desire for resources, launched a brutal invasion of China, committing atrocities along the way. The League of Nations, formed after World War I to prevent future conflicts, proved powerless to stop the rising tide of aggression and expansion. Appeasement, the policy of making concessions to aggressor nations in the hope of avoiding war, only emboldened Hitler and his allies, leading to further aggression. The world watched nervously as the storm clouds of war gathered on the horizon, knowing that conflict was becoming inevitable. A world ablaze. The Second World War begins. The fragile peace shattered on September 1st, 1939, when Nazi Germany, in a blitzkrieg attack, invaded Poland. The world watched in horror as the German war machine unleashed its fury. This act of aggression triggered a chain reaction, setting off a series of events that would engulf the globe in conflict. Great Britain and France, bound by treaties to defend Poland, declared war on Germany 2 days later. The world was now at war once again. The Second World War had begun, marking the start of a conflict that would last for 6 long years. The early years of the war saw a string of stunning German victories. The Nazi war machine seemed unstoppable. Poland fell quickly, followed by Denmark, Norway, the Netherlands, Belgium, and finally France. Hitler's armies seemed unstoppable, sweeping across Europe with relentless force. The Battle of Britain, a relentless aerial campaign waged by the German Luftwaffe against Britain, tested the island nation's resolve. The skies over Britain became a battleground. However, the Royal Air Force, aided by radar and the courage of its pilots, held firm, ultimately forcing Hitler to abandon his plans for invasion. Britain's defiance became a symbol of hope. In June 1941, Hitler broke his non-aggression pact with the Soviet Union and launched a massive invasion, Operation Barbarossa. The Eastern Front was now ablaze. The Eastern Front, stretching from the Arctic Circle to the Black Sea, became the site of some of the war's most brutal fighting. The scale of the conflict was staggering. Millions of soldiers and civilians perished in the bitter struggle between Nazi Germany and the Soviet Union. The human cost was unimaginable. Meanwhile, in the Pacific, Japan, seeking to secure its dominance in Asia, launched a surprise attack on the American naval base at Pearl Harbor, Hawaii, on December 7, 1941. The attack was devastating. The attack, which killed over 2,400 Americans and sank or damaged numerous warships, shocked the American public and propelled the United States into the war. The sleeping giant had been awakened. The global conflict had reached a new level of intensity. The world was now fully engulfed in the flames of war. Turning the tide key, battles and fronts. Section 4. Leaders and Liberators Shaping the Course of History. Section 5. A World Reforged Legacy of the Second World War, Shaping Modern Geopolitics and International Relations Profoundly.